This week, the Tarleton Libraries and libraries across the world are celebrating Banned Books Week. This annual event spotlights the current and historical attempts to remove books from libraries and schools across the world. A challenge is the attempt to remove or restrict access to materials based on the objections of an individual or group. Banning an item is when the item in question is actually removed from the collection. According to the Office for Intellectual Freedom, there were 377 attempts to remove materials from libraries, schools, and universities in 2019. During this year's Banned Books Week, Tarleton Libraries has created 3 video compilations of Tarleton students, faculty, and staff reading from banned or challenged books. This is part 2.
Hi, today I'm reading The Westing Game by Ellen Raskins, published in 1978. It was banned for horror and terror, and I will begin reading. The delivery boy stroked the gray stubble on his pointed chin. Seems it all started with the bet. Somebody bet them $1 they couldn't stay in that spooky house 5 minutes. One measly buck. The poor kids hardly got through those French doors on the west side of the Westing house when they came tearing out like they was being chased by a ghost, or worse. Or worse, Turtle forgot her throbbing toothache. Theodorus and Doug, who, older and more wisely, exchanged winks but stayed to hear the rest of the story. One fella ran out crazy like screaming his head off. He never stopped screaming till he hit the rocks at the bottom of the cliff. The other fella hasn't said 2 words since. Something about purple. Sandy helped him out. Purple waves. Otis Amber nodded sadly. Yep, that poor fella just sits in the state asylum saying, purple waves, over and over again, and his scared eyes keep staring in his hands. You see, when he came running out of the Westing house, his hands was dripping with red blood.
2 is Beyond Magenta by Susan Colkin. This book was challenged because of its views on homosexuality, sex education. It had a lot of religious challenges in it, as well as political viewpoint differences that a lot of people didn't agree with. So I'm going to read a section from it. Before starting college, I wanted to make it clear to my friends in high school that I date girls. I wasn't attracted to men. I called myself a butch lesbian. On the day that I graduated, I came out to my friends.
I will be reading from Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. This book of whimsical poetry has been challenged because many feel that the content encourages rebellion and undermines parental authority. The poem that I'm going to read is entitled Listen to the Mustn'ts. Listen to the mustn'ts, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves, then listen close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be.
Hey guys, so today I have in front of me Where the Wild Things Are. This book is actually banned for disagreeable parental content. I'm just going to read a quick part of the book. Now stop, Max said, and took the wild things off to bed, without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the road, he smelled good things to eat, so he gave up being king of where the wild things are. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Patrick, and I'm reading from the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone for Banned Book Week. Harry Potter has been banned in Wakefield, Massachusetts, as the pastor of St. Joseph's School deemed the sorcery-heavy storylines inappropriate for a Catholic school. And I'm going to be reading a section from chapter 9. Well, what are you waiting for, she barks. Everyone stand by a broomstick. Come on, hurry up. Harry glanced down at his broom. It was old, and some of the twigs stuck out at odd angles. Stick your right hand over the broom, called Madam Hooch at the front, and say, up. Up, everyone shouted. Harry's broom jumped into his hand at once, but it was one of the few that did. Hermione Granger's had simply rolled over on the ground, and Neville's hadn't moved at all. Perhaps brooms, like horses, could tell when you were afraid, thought Harry. There was a quaver in Neville's voice that said too clearly that he wanted to keep his feet on the ground. Thank you.
I have The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, and it was never formally banned from being taught, though it did face some serious challenges, most notable in like 1987, which challenged the book and called it for its banning for language and sexual references. And I believe that on the first night I went to Gatsby's house, I was one of the few guests who were actually been invited. People were not invited. They went there.
The American Library Association has some excellent resources if you're interested in learning more about banned or challenged books. Visit http://ala.org/advocacy/bbooks to learn more.